In my role as a graphic designer, I often have to develop illustrations to represent abstract concepts or ideas. This is similar to your task. You're creating a visual piece based on written reflections. This task requires making visual associations. What I mean by visual associations is developing pictures in your mind based on your written reflections. Pictures that will help you express and communicate without using words. In this video, I'm going to go through a few tips that I have for making visual associations and coming up with pictures in your mind. Tip number 1, summarize your reflection. Before you start trying to make visual association, it's important to distill your written reflection down to the most important ideas. If your written reflection is several paragraphs long, you won't be able to communicate all this information in one single visual piece. So, you want to pull out the most important ideas from your reflection. Here are some spark questions to help you do that. If your reflection was a movie, what would the title be? Can you summarize your reflection in one sentence? If you had just 1 minute to tell someone about the ideas in your reflection, what exactly would you say? Once you have your reflection summarized in 1 to 3 sentences, you'll find it a lot easier to start brainstorming and visualizing. Tip number 2, make word associations. Take 5 minutes to write down all the words that you can think of that are associated with your reflection. Don't think about it too hard, just write whatever comes to your mind. These words might be objects, places, people, emotions. There are no right or wrong words, it's just whatever comes to mind for you. When you have your list of words, go to thenounproject.com. This is a site of icons and symbols that you can download. It's typically used by graphic designers, and I find it's a helpful way to start off my visual brainstorming. Try typing in some of the words on your list and see what icons or symbols come up. Looking through the icons and symbols, you may develop ideas for what imagery you can use to express your written reflection. For example, if my reflection was about a conflict I had with a coworker, I can type in conflict into the Noun Project search bar. I see that there are a lot of icons with people, and I also see a lot of icons with lightning bolts. I may choose to build my visual piece around these kinds of images. Tip number 3, turn your reflection into a story. Sometimes it's helpful to think of your reflections like stories, because stories are really good at planting images in our brains. So try thinking about the story elements from your reflection. This might help you come up with pictures and imagery. Try making a list of all the main characters, the settings, or where the story takes place, and what conflicts exist within that story. Tip number 4, look for analogies and metaphors. An analogy is a comparison between two things. A metaphor is a figure of speech that's meant to represent an idea without being literal. Both analogies and metaphors can help you find powerful images to express your thoughts and ideas. To use the example from earlier about the conflict with a coworker, a metaphor to describe this situation might be tug of war. When creating my visual piece, I might choose to incorporate 2 people playing tug of war. I'm not saying the conflict was literally a tug of war. I'm using it as a metaphor to express how the conflict felt. The image of 2 people playing tug of war communicates conflict much more clearly than, say, 2 people talking. So, to summarize, distill your reflection down to a couple of sentences, brainstorm words associated with your reflection, and search them on thenounproject.com to get ideas about imagery. Try turning your reflection into a story that will help you visualize your ideas and paint pictures in your brain. Look for analogies and metaphors to help you find powerful images to express your ideas.